All right, so now I've got my 2 inseams finished. I am going to set them on top of each other, again, right sides together. So the pretty sides should be touching each other, just like this, okay? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna match up that inner leg that I just made. So I'm gonna pin that in place. So my 2 seams are right on top of each other, nice and lined up. And then I'm going to line up my notches. Oh, so you can see there, it's nice and even. And now I'm gonna line up my notches. So right here, I have my notch marked. Now, some of the patterns might not have all the notches marked. That's okay. Just do the best you can. You can kind of tell it's roughly the middle of this curve, give or take. So just do the best you can. And then, of course, line up the top as well. So you can at least get the top and the inseam lined up. Okay. So looks like this. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Just like that. Bring those two together. So you see I don't have a notch on that other side. Not the end of the world. Some of the patterns I forgot to transfer them. So, but I am going to place just like another pin like right there, just so I have a little mark there for where about it would be. Okay, so now that it's all pinned, I'm gonna sew this curve right here, starting at one end and going all the way to the other end. So I'm right here, I'm at 5/8, all right, which is the standard seam allowance. Take my pin out and I'm going to back stitch. So I'm gonna go forward and then I'm going to push the little reverse button. So there I go, forward, reverse, hold it down as I push the pedal and then go forward again. So I'm gonna sew this at 5/8 of an inch. Okay, you're making sure that you're removing those pins as you come to them. This inseam is kind of tricky. You want to make sure that both of those seams stay open. So you can see I kind of lift my foot up over them and then keep going. The curve is hard, just go nice and slow, keeping it at 5/8 of an inch the whole time. Pause, take out my pins, keep going. Okay, and then I get to this end, I'm going to back stitch one more time, just like that. Perfect, and we're done. Trim both my threads. And now we have one more step. We're actually going to reinforce. So between the notches, we're going to sew it again, this time at a 3/8 seam allowance. Okay, so we're going to go forward. I should have backstitched there. Oops, I forgot. You're just going to go around this part right here. This is to reinforce so that if you rip your pants, you don't rip your pants. So if you're stretching and straining, you don't have those kind of issues. So backstitch again, and there we go. This is called reinforcement. So now I have 2 rows of stitching, and I'm trimming all of my threads as I go. And now what we're gonna do is go over to our serger again, or again, you can do the zigzag, and we're gonna finish this edge. So I chose to serge it, so I'm gonna line this up right here. Again, anything over that knife is getting cut off, so be very careful, very aware of everything that you're doing while you're operating the serger. So you'll notice that these are different, these are closed. I'm not peeling one layer back and doing just one layer at a time. I'm doing both sides of my seam allowances at the same time. Okay, this is called closed, serging it closed or together. Okay, so I'm just going to go all the way around, and then when you're done, you can press this if you'd like. You don't necessarily have to, but if you want to, you're welcome to do that. And I'm happy with how that looks. Trim both of my little chains, and there we go.